Hi everyone, I'm Michelle Kelly. Welcome to Be in the Change. I'm going to get started by reciting my inspiration. Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, which most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people will not feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It is not just in some of us, it is in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give others permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. I'd like to say welcome and thank you if you're watching me for the first time, and welcome back if you've seen me before. I started in 2019 for my New Year's resolution, stating out loud that I was breaking up with fear, I was breaking up with shame, and I was breaking up with guilt, followed by a weekly video for an entire year, which I was able to do. And then 2020 was to be kinder and more compassionate to myself and others, which I'm still doing too. 2021 was to break up with processed sugar. Bumpy ride, you guys. And 2022 is to put an income to what it is that I actually do. And I'm still working on that. In fact, I'm promising all of you next week, I am looking for somebody to help me with branding my name and marketing. So that's my goal for next week. I wanted to talk to you guys this week about depression. And I've been sharing with you guys that I've been feeling depressed and I suffer with depression. And you know, as I look back, as I've been looking back, the first time I got diagnosed with depression and I really couldn't hear it was I had a friend who was going to codependency rehab. And I'm like, I'll go with you. And that's what codependency is, wanting to help other people to the point of you're willing to go to a codependency rehab with them. So when I went there, when I called there, they're like, oh lady, you need to come, but you're not coming with her. And I honestly thought after getting out of 2 rehabs, going to codependency rehab would be like a vacation, which it was not, by the way. And they classified me as depressed. And I thought they just classified me as depressed to get the insurance company to pay for it. At least that's what I told myself. So as time has gone on, I am getting more and more feelings of depression. And I've done a lot of healing work. I'm in multiple 12-step programs. You guys, I'm on day 14 of no sugar, no flour, and no wheat, which is huge. And I feel good doing the food thing because I've been a food addict my whole life. That was my first addiction, was food. That was the first way I found how to comfort and soothe myself, was with food. And it's taken me 32 years into sobriety to be able to finally address the first addiction. I had to start with the drugs and the alcohol because that was the worst one at the time. And then after the drugs and alcohol, I was able to quit smoking. And then after the smoking, I was able to, I worked on food with Weight Watchers, you know, on and off, on and off. And then I was able to address, I came out of codependency and workaholism a couple of years ago with my car accident. And, you know, I was a workaholic. I defined myself by what I did. That was my identity at the time. And then I didn't have that anymore, and I lost my identity because I couldn't go back to work anymore. And so what I realized is I was coming out of yet again another addiction, which was workaholism. And then I worked on my codependency, which is, focusing on everybody else, trying to fix everybody else, when really the person I needed to fix is right here. And when I fix me first, then I can come back and help you, not the opposite. So I want to share with you 2 stories. So my first story of, I used to date somebody years ago who had road rage. And every time we were in the car together, he would yell at other drivers. And I would yell at him, yelling at other drivers. And then when we broke up, I had road rage. I never took his away. I ended up with road rage. So what that proved to me is I didn't take his away. I ended up with it. And so I had to work on all of this stuff, and I've been working on it, and it is a job like no other. And I'm not complaining, because I'm grateful that I've been able to do this work. But every time I've moved another layer, my depression is showing up more, not less. So what depression looks like and feels like for me, and I heard Jay Shetty, if you guys don't know who he is, he's a great motivational, inspirational speaker. He used to be a monk, but I heard him say about depression is deep resting. And I am deep resting. And somehow that just sounds so much nicer and so much kinder than back in the day. If you had depression, you were lazy and you needed to move it. And that's how you got out of it. You got up and you sucked it up and you did it anyway. And I've been getting to the point where I can't. It's not I won't. I can't. And the things that I do in order for a good day, when I tell you guys what I do in a day, every morning when I wake up, the first thing I do, I make my bed. And then I get down on my knees and I pray. And I pray for everyone that I know and love, and for the world. And then after I pray, I come and I pull a card, an oracle card, and I give a positive message, whatever the message is for the day. I put it on 5 different social platforms myself. It takes about an hour. And then I read The Language of Letting Go, which is a daily meditation book on codependency, which is loving kindness. And I now have this new book, Food for the Soul, from my other 12-step group that I'm in. And it's just how to get your day started, a positive message to start off, and then I journal. And on top of journaling, I have to send a food plan every single day to somebody of what I'm going to eat for the day before I have food in my mouth. And then after I do all of that, I eat breakfast. I go to my first meeting at 9 o'clock, and during the day, I exercise, I talk to people, I go places, I go to the store, I dance, I do lots of things, and it's still with me. So when I tell you I do everything I possibly can in order to take care of myself, to be well, and not have this, I do, and it's still there. And what it feels like is this heaviness comes over me, and it makes me wanna not wear my regular clothes anymore. When I wear spandex, they hurt. They used to be my comfortable clothes when I used to work and, put on my stretch pants. Actually, I was wearing yoga pants to work, but they now hurt. And I don't like to be in clothes that make me feel confined, that make me feel like, oh my God, I want to get out of this. I will buy any article of clothing that feels like a hug. And it's really hard for me to be anybody else but myself. And it's getting harder for me not to show you who I am and where I am. And I made an appointment. I'm going to see the doctor next Tuesday to talk about my options for depression. I'm now able to tell you out loud that I have this, and I'm not lazy. And even if I couldn't get out of bed, it doesn't mean I'm not lazy. And it doesn't mean I am lazy is what I meant to say. And the other thing, because I was thinking of, you know, a pause. It's a pause. And, you know, why do I have to feel like I need, it's like permission to rest almost. It's like I need to overwork, to harm and hurt myself in order to feel justified to take a break or to rest, instead of I just need to rest because that's what my body is asking me to do. And one last thing I'm going to tell you guys is when I was younger, I remember always feeling like this. I didn't want to die per se, that I knew about, like intentional, but I just wanted to go to sleep and just wake up 6 months down the road. Like I just wanted it to go away. I wish I could just take a really, really long nap and wake up and everything be different and better. And what I've realized is nothing is going to be different or better unless I do that. But I'm allowed to rest, and I'm allowed to take care of myself, and I'm allowed to do things that bring me joy, and I don't have to justify what I do or don't do to anybody else except for God and myself. So I want to say thank you so much to everyone who's watching. This is your signing off. Please stay tuned, stay safe, and I'll see you all next week.